Hello and welcome to the Sewing Studio. Today is our final episode of what you can make using the Tula Pink Daydreamer range Fat Quarter Bundle. So the quilt behind me has been made using all the leftover pieces that I had following the other projects. And it's a really easy scrappy quilt to do. So we've done scrap busters before. So today I'm just going to show you using some Christmas fabric. So I've sorted through my Christmas fabric box and I think it's a great way of using up all your Christmassy fabrics because it all does tend to go together. But actually it doesn't really matter if it's a scrap quilt, it really doesn't matter, size, colour, whatever. I'm just going to roughly lay them out to see what size and shape I can make. So I've got one here that I started earlier, and sometimes I tend to make up a couple of pieces and then just join them together. So this is what I made earlier on, using up different pieces, and I tend to start with the biggest piece first. So I'll sort all through and see what I've got. So this one is a nice big piece. So I'm probably going to see, oh, that fits perfectly. So I'm going to join that to that. And then I need to add something here. So what I could do is I could join some smaller pieces together. I love doing this because it is literally finding treasure. So I can join some smaller pieces together like this, and then trim it down to what size I want. So I'm just going to go and start to put a few pieces together, and then I'm going to come back into the centre to show you what I've done. So I'm just going over to the sewing machine. Before I do that, if you like what we do, don't forget to like and subscribe. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok, where you can see customer makes, you can meet the team, there's behind the scenes, and we'll answer all of your questions in the comments below. The great thing about this is you just keep adding to it, and it doesn't matter if your pieces don't line up because you can trim them and then add it to your quilt afterwards. So all these pieces that I've just sewn together now, I'm just going to give them a press, and then I'm going to see if I can attach them to this quilt that I've already started. So at this point I don't get too hung up about which way I'm pressing my seams, because it really doesn't matter because it is a scrap quilt and there probably isn't any lining up. So I'm just going to straighten off this edge. And then I'm going to add it to this one that I've already made. So you can see it's a bit longer than I wanted, but it doesn't matter because then I'm going to trim off this bit here. So I'm just building it up. So I'm just going to pop that on, and then I'm going to trim it back up. Give it a quick press. Trim it up. I'm going to save these pieces because I can use those again. So you can see how I'm building this up. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm probably going to make another strip of fabric to go down this side. So I shall join lots of pieces to make another piece there. And I'm just building it up until it is the size I want. And I think it's great doing it with Christmassy fabrics because you could put a nice red fleece on the back of this, and wouldn't that be lovely and snuggly and cozy for Christmas? So we're just going to go over to the quilt that I've made using the Tula Pink scraps, and we're just going to have a look at how they've been put together and how it's been quilted. So you can see how this one has been built up. So I think I probably, if I remember rightly, started with that one, and then I added these other pieces and trimmed it off. So you can see there's just a little piece there. So it really doesn't matter how you put it together. You can see here, I've got some very small pieces in here. And because this is so bright and colourful, it doesn't matter where you've placed your pieces. So I then put it onto some pink fleece, and I've quilted it using a really wavy line. So I've got a pink thread, I've extended my stitch length, and I've used a walking foot, and I've literally just come down doing a really wavy line. Very, very random, but I do like the effect that it's given, and you probably can see it a bit better on the back. So you can see all these wavy lines, so how the quilting has built up, and I've quilted the whole thing. And I like the randomness of the quilting because of the randomness of all the colours. And then I have put binding on it, and this is from the Tula Pink range, and that took a long quarter to put the binding onto this quilt. So you can make it as big as you want, you can make it as small as you want, and you can do it in any fabric you want. So use up all your scraps and just have fun with it. So as always, make it your own, have fun, and I look forward to seeing you next time here in the sewing studio.